So we have an update this morning in the Nancy Guthrie case. And I am going to show you a clip from Fox News. But first I'm going to put on the light so you have better coverage, better lighting. And it's very dark here in Vermont today. We have a lot of snow coming down. So this this clip is shows I'm just going to preface this way. This clip shows the gentleman actually in an interview speaking. So his features look like so much like the person that we're seeing in the video that they got at Nancy Guthrie's house of the perpetrator trying to get into her house. So take a listen, take a look here. Let me know what you think.
After detaining and questioning him in connection with the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie.
We're going to listen to it a couple of times.
Local and federal officials wrapping up a court-ordered search at a home in Rio Rico, Arizona. That's about an hour away from Nancy Guthrie's house in Tucson and about 15 miles from the U.S.-Mexico border.
This all comes after the FBI released home security video of an armed and masked man approaching Guthrie's home the night she was abducted 11 days ago. You are watching Fox and Friends First on this Wednesday morning. I'm Carly Shipkiss.
And I'm Todd Pyro. Let's go right to Matt Finn, live in Rio Rico. And he has a new interview with the man who was just released by investigators, heard for the very first time on Fox. Matt.
Good morning, guys. Not only is it quiet here right now, it's pitch black. There was a search here earlier tonight. There were investigators, the blue, red lights, police tape up, what appeared to be, a very controlled, intent search. And then all of a sudden, investigators left, and we spoke to a man who identified himself as Carlos. He told us that he was the man who was detained for questioning in a traffic stop in relation to the Nancy Guthrie case. He says he is a free man and has nothing to do with Nancy's disappearance. Here is our interaction with Carlos.
Okay. What were they asking about?
Just notice when you're watching this interview, guys, and he's probably, yes, very nervous, but just look at his body language and let me know what you see. Now, there's been absolutely no charges against this man, but listen to him and look, just kind of watch him.
I wore my whereabouts.
Okay.
Where was I and all that. But
Are you ever up in Tucson?
yeah, I work in Tucson.
What do you do?
GLS, deliver packages.
Okay, do you think you might have delivered a package to Nancy Guthrie's
I
house?
don't know, might have been a possibility, I don't know.
Yeah, do you ever deliver like Amazon packages or anything?
Well, that's kind of the same thing.
Yeah. So do you think you may have, did they indicate that you might have been on her property? You're not sure?
Nah, they just came up, they until right now, all I know is that they show my in-law a picture of somebody wearing a mask or something, and they supposedly looked at my eyes.
Right, okay.
That's it, that's all I know.
So that man says he worked in the Tucson area. He delivers packages. We try to clarify if he was ever at Nancy Guthrie's house. He wasn't sure. And he says investigators showed him a picture of a person in a mask. So we believe that is, perhaps one of the surveillance photos that was released yesterday of the person in the mask at Nancy Guthrie's house. Ultimately, Carlos told us he was questioned, asked about his whereabouts. They took his phone, and that's it.
Okay, so a couple things here. We're going to look at it again for those of you just scrolling because it really is breaking news. The person that they detained, there's his resemblance to the person in the video of the perpetrator breaking into Nancy's home or breaking the camera. Looks strikingly similar, strikingly so. So that's number one. Second thing is, I think they said he was 15 miles from, is it New Mexico, did they say? We'll listen to it again. And also, he couldn't remember if he was in Nancy Guthrie's like neighborhood, if he delivered packages to her. So the only thing that really stands out to me, because for this reason, I get that you deliver lots of packages, but this case has been national news. And they also say later in this clip that they just haven't been following it. That's not too many miles from where they are. So that I find a little surprising. But we're going to listen to just that part of it again. For those of you scrolling, this is a man detained. Now, it's not just a detainment. It is a detainment with them, resulting with them taking his phone. You do not take someone's phone unless you have, what shall I say, more suspicion. I don't even know what the legal, do you know what the legal term would be? What would give them permission to take his phone? Okay, I think that's pretty big stuff. So we're gonna listen to and take a look at this guy again that they detained, and just look at the video here that they show one more time,
Federal officials wrapping up
and look at the guy they
search
detained.
at a home in Rio Rico, Arizona. That's about an hour away from Nancy Guthrie's house in Tucson and about 15 miles from the U.S.-Mexico border.
Okay, look, guys, it is from, you see here? It is from it's 15 miles. Oh my God. Look how close I didn't realize they were that close to the Mexican border. Okay, I just didn't, I should know my geography, but yes, I was thinking, I don't know why I was thinking New Mexico, but Mexico, right there. So that would, that's the reason they were thinking might be related to a cartel and a number of people. Oh my goodness. This is very sad to me at this point, but let's take a listen.
After the FBI released home security video of an armed and masked man approaching Guthrie's home the night she was abducted 11 days ago. You are watching Fox and Friends First on this Wednesday morning. I'm Carly Shimkus.
And I'm Todd Pyro. Let's go right to Matt Finn, live in Rio Rico. And he has a new interview with the man who was just released by investigators, heard for the very first time.
Now, this time when you're looking at the interview, guys, watch his body language. If you know anything about body language, how would you interpret it? I'm not a body language expert, but
the blue, red lights, police tape up, what appeared to be, a very controlled, intent search. And then all of a sudden, investigators left, and we spoke to a man who identified himself as Carlos. He told us that he was the man who was detained for questioning in a traffic stop in relation to the Nancy Guthrie case. He says he is a free man and has nothing to do with Nancy's disappearance. Here is our interaction with Carlos.
Okay. What were they asking you about?
Where my whereabouts.
Okay.
Where was I and all that, bro.
Are you ever up in Tucson?
Yeah, I work in Tucson.
What do you do?
GLS, deliver packages.
Okay, do you think you might have delivered a package to Nancy Guthrie's house?
I don't know, might have been a possibility, I don't know.
Yeah, do you ever deal with like Amazon packages or anything?
Well, it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah. So do you think you may have, did they indicate that you might have been on her property? You're not sure?
Nah, they just came up, they until right now, all I know is that they show my in-law a picture of somebody wearing a mask or something, and they supposedly look like my eyes.
Right, okay.
That's it, that's all I know.
So that man says he worked in the Tucson area. He delivers packages. We try to clarify if he was ever at Nancy Guthrie's house. He wasn't sure. And he says investigators showed him a picture of a person in a mask. So we believe that is, perhaps one of the surveillance photos that was released yesterday of the person in the mask at Nancy Guthrie's house. Ultimately, Carlos told us he was questioned, asked about his whereabouts. They took his phone, and that's it. He says he's a free man, and he wants his name cleared. He doesn't want to be associated with the Guthrie case. So it's not quite clear what investigators got from this search. Perhaps they'll be able to extract something from his cell phone, or, I don't know, perhaps DNA. Back to you guys.
I mean, fantastic job on getting that interview, and you're one of the only people to so far speak to him.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing that this guy got that interview. But I think they're right. If they can find DNA at all at the scene and get the DNA off the phone, that's going to be a very strong connect. They do not detain people and take a phone unless they have a lot of reason. So we're going to skip ahead because we saw this part. And let me just skip ahead to the next commentary. We'll go.
Asked him to, come to the station tomorrow or anything like that. I mean, it seems like he was entirely released and is free.
All right, Matt Finn, live for us in Rio Rico, Arizona, doing the hard work on the ground there. Matt, thank you very much. Let's bring in former FBI investigator Bill Daly. Bill, thank you so much for
This
joining
is
us. What do you
interesting.
make of
Listen to this
detainment
guy,
and the
Bill
release of
Daly.
this man, and where you believe this case stands today?
Well, first of all, Carly, it's not that uncommon in investigations that people are certainly interviewed. It sounds as though in this case there was perhaps some other kind of tip that was received, and it's not that uncommon in cases where you're asking for the public's help, where someone perhaps has as Matt suggested, kind of a similar look. Perhaps maybe people thought that there was some connection with the home. Perhaps also authorities, as they started to maybe quickly look at the lead that was maybe called in. They said he checked a couple of boxes, maybe because of his job, he said, is delivering packages. So, it's not that uncommon that, police, especially when a tip may also include the fact that, Nancy could be there being held against her will, which is found not to be the case. They would act in this fashion. So I think there are many, many more leads out there, and the ones that they need to react to are the ones that have that credibility. Not everyone that calls in is said.
So let me just comment on that. What he's talking about is that they said you're free to look. So I think they had looked in the house. That's what he's referencing, is that she was not in the
As
house.
if they saw someone or a person down the street, they're going to go and either detain or maybe look at seriously. It's going to require a couple of more check marks next to their profile.
Yeah, to that end, Bill, Cash Patel said they were looking at persons, plural, of interest. Is that just a figure of speech, or do you think he means more than one person is being looked at in the context of eventually being labeled as a person of interest?
I think the director, certainly is very careful in his language, especially in a sensitive case like this. And I think, I think it would behoove all of us to think that that perhaps there may be other people involved, not just the person who we see showing up at the door in that surveillance video, but maybe there could be other people acting either with knowledge of or in concert of and support of this incident. So I think you need to kind of keep your kind of net wide and broad. Not to be focused in as an investigator, to kind of think you're kind of focusing in just laser on a couple of individuals, when in fact you may need to kind of dig a little bit further.
In other words, still keep your eyes open. Okay.
John, interesting that video is certainly stunning, and there are so many leads that will come out of that. As some do take a little longer to kind of run down, whether it happens to be the dress of the person, the clothing, other aspects. And I think we've been also told by some reporters that in fact there could be some other images out there that have not been released if authorities look at themselves.
Gosh, yeah, probably.
This case is kind of boiling. It's boiling.
They've got
forward,
more
and I think,
pictures
I
for
think
sure.
we're going to have some very positive results in the near term.
Remarkable.
You know what they got? They're just about at the end of it. We're going to listen to the rest of it in a minute. But they definitely have more evidence, because where they stopped him is in traffic. They detained him in traffic, and so they did. Apparently, they did get a tip. It wasn't based. They're not saying it was based solely on what they have, but they did get a tip. But I'm just, after the end of this, I'm going to go right back to the beginning. I'm going to freeze frame his face so you can see, because his face is strikingly similar to what the face would look like under that mask. So even if it's not him, it just gives you a benchmark of what this person may look like. Okay, so with that, let's finish this. Bill Daly.
Well, that the FBI cyber team was able to obtain this security video, and it took them a week to accomplish this goal. It has been suggested that because this person is wearing a mask, obviously we cannot see a majority of his face. But the suggestion is that there could be enhancements potentially done to this footage to get a clearer understanding of what he looks like. Do you believe that to be the case?
I do, Carly, and if I draw a little bit from my several years of experience in special photography at the FBI, I can tell you that certainly it was stunning and a great accomplishment. And kudos to the team and the private sector partners who helped kind of cull out these images, probably from, I would imagine, almost terabytes of data that were either unassigned or unallocated, because this account was not active, as we know, wasn't being actively stored through some type of subscription. So, but going back to the images, I could tell you now, right, between being able to provide kind of a height, weight of the individual through kind of AI and other enhancements, you can kind of, unfortunately, we can't just remove the mask. We can't, put something there that's not there, but you can start to provide some details around maybe the outline of the head or the face. We now know, or we believe, that this person has some facial hair. Those eyebrows is certainly distinctive, and eyebrows certainly reminiscent of the fact that many people call the Luigi Mangione case that took place in New York as being so significant that they were identifiers of him even when police came upon him in that McDonald's restaurant. So there are a lot of things going on, Carly, and I think.
So what we're going to do is go back just for a moment here, and I want to point out something of a safety that he mentioned. So let's just get a bigger picture here.
Where my whereabouts? Okay. Where was I not?
Okay, see his face. I'm just going to, the eyes and the distinctive eyebrows, those match like just about perfectly to that video. I mean, and his nose, like I said, it was curved, and it is. And he does have facial hair. It was suspicious of the facial hair. But you also see he's kind of, you kind of get him in the light here, that he's a lighter, you almost see kind of reddish there. Okay, so they're going to be able to also distinguish that in their photos, but let's see if we get another freeze frame of him. This is about what the person, whoever it is, does have these type of facial features.
Are you ever up in Tucson?
Yeah, I work in Tucson.
What do you do?
GLS, deliver packages.
Okay, do you think you might have delivered a package to Nancy Guthrie's house?
I don't know, might have been a possibility, I don't know.
Yeah, do you ever deliver like Amazon packages or anything?
Well, it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah. So do you think you may have, did they indicate that you might have been on her property? You're not sure?
Nah, they just came up, they, until right now, all I know is that they show my in-law a picture of somebody wearing a mask.
You see what he did there when he put his hand up and he's gulping? He's very nervous, very, very, very nervous, guys. Now, I'm not saying that's an indication that he does have anything, but watch that, because if he's absolutely innocent and absolutely, not associated with this at all, he may just say, it wasn't me, and I may look like the person, but it absolutely wasn't me. But watch that.
Really? You're not sure?
Nah, they just came up, they.
The shoulders are
Until right now, all I know
right
is that
there,
they
big
show
gulp
my in-law
coming.
a picture of somebody wearing a mask or something,
Mm-hmm.
and they supposedly look like my eyes.
Right, okay.
That's it. That's all I know.
So
And it could just be somebody who, that he is just very similar looking to the person they're looking for. Now, with that said, guess what? He could have a family member with very similar features to him. So this is why, I draw caution, and I'm like, we need to always wait for what the authorities say, But it's clear that they're getting leads, and if anything, if this is not the person, the good thing about this particular interview and clip, an amazing job, Fox, by the way, amazing job, Fox News, getting an interview, because it gives us a benchmark of the features of what this person in the mask would look like. So anyway, with that, let's keep our prayers open and let's keep our prayers going as long as this case is open, and pray for Nancy's safe return. And I have all the faith in them. They seem like they are right on this. So everybody have a beautiful day. Thank you for being with Vermont Sun and Shade. And, don't forget that one of her children, Cameron, is a Vermonter. He's one of our, he's a retired F-16 pilot fighter. And those of you in Vermont, those F-16s, how they would train, out of South Burlington Airport. And so he's a Vermonter. And, like they say, it sounds like they're pinpointing things. But if this goes nowhere, we want to keep our eyes and ears open, still. So, and then Savannah is a New York resident also. She's a New Yorker also. But she's also has residence in Tucson, Arizona. And then Annie is the daughter who lives up the street from Nancy in Tucson, Arizona. So let's keep our prayers open for the entire family, and pray that Nancy keeps receiving the strength, and I'm sure that she absolutely is, from God, and from all of these beautiful prayers coming in. So with that, you have a beautiful day. And any more major developments, I'll come on here and share all with you.